Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 2, Episode 12, It Follows. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
You know, I know we're about to get into this movie eventually, but I remember Javi saying he didn't like it. But I really am shocked, and we can obviously decompress this later, that Javi is not a fan of, quite honestly, probably the horniest horror movie in the past 25 years.
Oh, you should have saved that for the intro because that's genius.
Well, I want to get us back on target.
We're already recording. Yeah, that's good.
Boom.
That's a great segue, Jay.
You know what? Fuck
segue,
it,
Jay.
I'll put it in the beginning.
That's on everybody's notes. Like, I'm surprised Javi hated this.
You guys ready? Ready? Taking it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Go live.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday live at 8 p.m. Central Time on Twitch. I'm your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We got Jake, ST. I'm doing alternative titles to It Follows, by the way. Jake, STD Stocks, Pinkston. Jake, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I am looking forward to talking about this movie that I like, but I have plenty of gripes about. It's still a great movie, I will say that, but I do have a lot of complaints about it, and I'm just ready to hear what everybody else has to say about it.
Me too. We also got, Jay, HPV Visits McClintock. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
I am doing well. I love the fact that it was nice and rainy today with this very nice and rainy movie. The environment was set, the mood was set, and I am ready to gush. And gush I shall.
Whoa! What movie did you watch?
You better watch out because it might start following you.
Yeah, dude, he's next. He's next.
It don't want none. It don't want none of this.
I'm not even saying about you, like if it doesn't even want to follow you.
Yeah,
no, I'm good.
Because I'll leave it
good.
with insults that will make it question its self-worth,
Oh,
and it'll come back and talk to me later.
That's what it is.
Next, we got David. Chlamydia chases Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Good. And finally, we got Javi. Gonorrhea goes after Byres. Javi, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Doug. Thanks. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Were you down at the scene of the crime? What was happening there? So yeah, we are going to talk It Follows, the 2014 film released March 13th, 2015, I guess, but originally released May 17th, 2014 at Cannes, whatever it's called, with a running time of 100 minutes, budget of 1.3 million, with a box office of 22.3 million. Synopsis: after carefree teenager Jay sleeps with her new boyfriend Hugh, for the first time, she learns that she is the latest recipient of a fatal curse that has passed from victim to victim via sexual intercourse. Death, Jay learns, will creep towards her as either a friend or a stranger. Jay's friends don't believe her seemingly paranoid ravings until they too begin to see the phantom assassin and band together to help her flee or defend herself. That was a long synopsis.
I didn't even hear a word you just said.
I just got the fact that it premiered at Raising Cane's Film Festival.
Yeah, Raising Con. It's Raising Con.
I would totally go to that fucking film festival.
Oh, God.
God bless.
They got the fucking con sauce.
Never. I can never go back to con. Yeah, I've been. You've been to con? Have you been to Raising Cane?
Love you,
So,
Doug.
Ducky reads movie synopsis like Ryan Perio tells jokes. And then she was there.
Whoa, I'm not on that train. Ryan, if you're listening, I am not on that train.
He's
Do
not
not subscribe to that newsletter.
Don't worry about that. He's running all.
So
One star. Do not recommend what David's saying right
He's
now.
got a million things that he's doing. Y'all being a little rough on the boy.
Yeah, it's all good.
Who, Ryan or Duck? Which one?
Oh,
Doc, you know I love it. I'm only busting balls, bro.
It's
bad.
all
I'm
good.
sorry,
It-
Doc.
you know, they say my dick is small.
they
There's
say
the
my
first
name
one.
is small.
There's 2 so far. Okay. So we watched It Follows, the movie that is about STDs, I guess. I'm not real sure what it's about because the director says it's about something else. Let's talk our history with the movie. First off, me and Javi watched this movie together. One of the first times we ever hung out. We're like, let's watch a horror movie. And Javi, what'd you think when we watched it?
I remember just being like, this is just like one either big allegory for STDs or parenthood. Because now I'm more convinced that it's for parenthood.
Really?
Yeah.
Why for Parenthood? We'll have to get
Because
into
that shit's with you lifelong, about as long as death is. That shit will be with you. You can't get rid of it.
Unless you're
You
Casey
can.
Anthony.
Oh,
So
wow.
What about the JonBenet Ramsey?
I know a
case?
few
don't
family
what you're
annihilators
getting
that might
at
disagree
here.
with you there, Javi.
So you think this is for having a baby? Is what you're saying?
It could
or-
be. I mean, it could be because STDs can be treated and go away. This is like
Dude,
fucking-
How do you
Could
feel
you
about
help me out?
children?
What are you taking?
Yeah, seriously. Like, do you feel like children are a death sentence? Like,
for some.
what is
yes.
this getting at right now? Because I feel like this is totally an allegory for STDs. The director himself said that it was a dream that he had where somebody was slowly walking to him, and it was a recurring dream where somebody was just slowly walking to him, but then he turned it to a sex thing as he got older because he had a separate frame of mind at that point. But I mean, this is totally about fucking
but I'm
somebody
just-
and getting something, even though you know that they have it. Are you gonna fuck them anyways? Like,
I'm just saying there are a lot of horror movies are based around like as sexual allegories. Like, oh, don't have sex. I'm just putting a different spin on it, baby. That's all I'm doing.
oh,
So what
okay.
you're
So I
saying-
mean, Home Alone is also an allegory about not having children.
Home Alone is
Duh.
an
What
allegory
the
about
fuck?
like
Of course.
Yeah, you don't
Don't
want to leave
make
them.
it-
Like, you forget about them anyways, and next thing you know, they're causing like fucking $50,000 worth of damage to your fucking house.
And murdering people.
Yeah.
So question. So what you're saying is this movie's about the ultimate STD, children.
yes.
Ugh.
Good one, Duck. Good one, sir.
Make sure. All right.
Well played.
Jake, what's your history with the movie?
I watched it like probably 4 or 5 years ago on a terabyte drive that I had Will load a bunch of movies up on. And I thought it was great the first time I watched it. I still think it's great, nerd. And also, on top of that, there's plenty of things that I don't like about this movie, and I don't want to let those complaints negate that I think it's still a good movie. I really do like the premise of it, but there's a lot of things that I don't like about it. And I guess we can get into that after you ask everybody else.
Absolutely. Jay, how about you? What's your history with It Follows?
Man, my number one horror buddy before I hung out with you gentlemen was one Mr. Jeremy P. Thrash.
What up, Thrash?
We watched every fucking horror movie under the sun, and he actually saw this one before me, and he goes, "Oh, you got to watch this." And usually when Thrash recommends a movie to me, I generally listen, and so I watched it probably a few months after it came out. And I'm like, yeah, this feels like a high school movie. Like, I mean, like Scream came out 20 years ago. And I'm like, I like to watch horror movies that kind of evolve with me. As I get to become older, I like movies that kind of revolve around people more my age. I was like 34 when I saw it. And then that synth from like the opening bell. And then like, I was like, okay, all right. And then the premise. This premise for a horror movie that for whatever reason, either it hadn't been done before or it hadn't been done very well before, I was like angry. I was upset that this movie was made because it feels like it could have been made so many times. But this guy, I just felt like he nailed it. I was absolutely blown away. And it's very rare that a movie blows me away. And there's little bitty choices throughout the movie where I love a movie that makes you ask more questions. And even though I didn't answer those questions, I wasn't mad at it. The fact that you can't really pin down a time period for this movie intentionally. The fact that the flirtatious neighbor guy drives like an 80s station wagon. Yeah, dude. The fact that and then in that set you see like a 90s car, a 2000s car, and it doesn't even matter.
She's rocking a clamshell Kindle, but
yeah,
everything is a tube TV in the house.
No cell phones.
And it's
absolutely
also
no cell phones.
Yeah,
one cell phone. The first girl. Yeah, one. Yep.
Yeah. And it's a completely different time frame also, and that's one thing that they don't
like. I love that.
By the way, that clamshell e-reader doesn't exist.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's got the battery bars on it, and I was like, the girl's holding a clam. Is that a symbol for a lady's body part? I don't know, but
hey, this is your first impression, not the entire goddamn movie.
I'm telling you, the movie.
Man, we want to talk about this. But we're waiting to
I'm done.
You're going off.
Put me on mute.
Cut the feed, Duck. We're done.
No. David, what's your history with the movie?
It's almost the exact same thing with Jay. Actually, I tried to get the guy to come on. His name is Chris Ramirez. He's a professional actor here in Dallas, but he's in rehearsal tonight. He came and saw me at Hyenas in Dallas and was like, dude, you've got to go see It Follows. And my wife and I, Lindsay and I, we watched it at the Angelica because it was getting ready to leave. It wasn't in the theater that long. And we saw it and I was just absolutely blown away. It's one of my favorite genres, which I like to call the art house horror film. It is and I really feel it opened the door for like The Witch and Midsommar and all these other art house horror films that kind of showed you that you can do an independent film and have it be artsy as fuck. And this movie is artsy as fuck and be successful. You know,
Did
it
you not
doesn't.
see the original Let the Right One In?
Dude, first of all, Let the Right One In is a foreign film. And so this is an American film, and the American remake of Let the Right One In was total shit. But Let the Right One In, I would love to do that one time on this cast because I think that movie is fucking art at the highest level. And it'd be better if we could actually find the actual real dialogue word for word. It's really hard to find. Anyway, so that's what he told me to watch it. I watched it, absolutely fell in love. It's still one of my favorite movies. It's just great.
It definitely is very, very artsy, and I think it holds up on my second viewing. I appreciated it, but let's get into it. Jay was ready to go with the timelessness and everything. He's ready to hit it. So go ahead, Jay. What else did you have to say? You were saying about the movie being timeless, and Jake said about the nightmare aspect of it because it does feel like a nightmare, and like you're watching it, you're not sure what's off about it. One of the biggest things is they filmed it with wide angle lenses, the entire film pretty much. And it gives it a very spacious but yet compressed feeling while you're watching it. Everything feels like it's very zoned in, kind of like that tunnel vision. Like if you're dreaming, I don't know if you guys feel that way when you're dreaming, but I always feel like it's real zoned in. And the idea of having things that are the timelessness of it, having the tube TVs, but yet having the camcorder cell phone e-reader, no one points this out. Fucking birth control looks like that. It looks like a clam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It totally looks like that.
Very cool.
And I kept thinking that the whole time. And like everything I've read today, no one ever mentions that. But I'm like, that's so
very smart. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's got to be what that is. But that whole thing is the idea.
They're trying to make it be clear that she's a fucking nerd. She's never going to get laid.
She came off to me as definitely the asexual character of this very, very horny movie.
Human birth control.
For sure. Yeah. She's always telling him, she's reading the Iliad. She's doing boring ass shit. She's boring, but I think she's made to look boring.
This movie fucking does not care about exposition whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
And I saluted it in a lot of ways for that because, you know, a lot of times they treat the audience like they're fucking stupid. But sometimes you need exposition to let you know how they got from this point to that point. And there's a lot of fucking just jumping around. You don't understand, like, what I mean, I get it. I get what's going on, but still a little bit of like, oh yeah, we decided to take all this electronic equipment and go to this abandoned fucking school, prison. I don't know what the fuck it is at the end. They don't make any of that shit clear. Greg has a fucking summer house that they go and hang out at, and nobody questions that. Their parents don't give a shit about anything. So that, yeah, a lot of aspects about this, they do make it seem like it's a dream going on. But I hate when a movie doesn't know its own fucking rules. Like, so they said that the thing that follows is always just constantly walking towards them, right? But none of these entities have the same pace. If they would have met them all had the same pace, and then you think about like the naked man on top of the fucking roof. Why isn't he walking towards them constantly as opposed to just standing up there watching them? So, I mean, little gripes like that right there.
Well,
it's like,
here's the thing.
You don't even understand the rules of your fucking shit. What if she had a threesome and she fucking came in by both of those dudes?
Would they bring that up?
Like, well, yeah, who does it follow at that point? Like, there's little fucking nuances like that that just do not make sense with this whole fucking movie.
Okay.
I can suspend disbelief.
I can counter your points, though. Okay. The first one I'm going to say is what I like about what you're saying about the movie feeling like it's all over the place. This is not a movie you can watch with the sound off, or the sound off. You could watch this movie with the sound off and follow it visually. That's the thing that's wonderful about it. But you could not watch it with the sound on, not paying attention to it, and follow the story of it. You've got to watch this movie. You've got to pay attention to it because it's a visual thing. Like it is a work of art when it comes to that. But it is all over the place. So if you're not following the story, you got to be like keyed into what's going on the whole time, because it does have dream logic where it jumps over the place. When I have dreams, they jump over the place, yet I follow them. I go, we were here, then we were here, then we were here, then we were here. That's what's kind of fun about it. As for the three-way threesome, there's the part in the movie where she goes Captain Stabbing. Maybe she does. She gets on that boat with those.
Yeah, I thought that also.
Yeah, does she or doesn't she? It's ambiguous. And
who knows, man? They were like fucking like 500 yards out. Like they probably didn't even see her. She probably just went in for a fucking dip.
Well, that's the thing is the thing is she
did homeboy fuck those hookers that he drove past?
I wanted him to.
Yeah,
that's genius. We'll get into that when we get to the ending and how you would defeat this monster. But there, the director has stated that it doesn't matter whether it's oral sex. I think that was what he said, or whether it's same sex. It would still.
So she could be like fucking triple beamed.
She could get fucking finger cuffed, and it wouldn't matter. It would still pass. So threesome would work. The ending we'll get into. What was the other thing you just said? The parents. You barely see the parents. Even when they show the mother, she's kind of like her hair's in her way. And like the only time you see a parent is when you see the entity as the parent, really. When it comes to the character of Greg, you see his mother as the entity hump him to death, which was fucking creepy. I kept thinking, like, as the entity got angrier and angrier, that's why you see the person on the roof, because I think that's actually the grandfather. They show a picture earlier in the movie. I think that's a grandfather.
It's also her dad in the pool.
Yes, and that.
Well, you don't know that till that last scene where
they show the picture.
But I like the fact that I feel.
Oh, you see the picture in the bathroom. There's a picture of her with her dad in the beginning. Yeah.
But they really focus on it after the full incident. But I really like the fact that it doesn't really play by like I get the basic gist. So like the first time I watched this movie, and like you just said it really well, Doug. This is not a background noise movie. Mm-hmm. When you see this movie, it snatches you really quick. And that's what I really love. And it's a slow ass burn. And I typically am not a fan of slow ass burn movies. But this one just kind of says, come on, you're coming with me. And there's these little choices that the actors make. Like, for example, when they're sitting out in the field and she's grabbing the blades of grass and putting it on
like cutting herself.
Well, that, or how many times you guys been hanging out with your friends and you're just fidgeting with the ground, or, she's in the pool and she's just, playing with it. It's these little.
Or she has her back turned to the bushes for some reason, as opposed to fucking facing the water, and she doesn't realize that her hair's about to be ripped up.
Yeah, it's these little choices they make, and like, for me, like the first time I watched the movie, I was like, okay, the second time. Or even today, when she's in the movie theater, and let's talk about that movie theater scene.
Why the fuck do they have an organ player?
Exactly, even more ambiguity when it comes to a timeline.
Anachronisms.
And then when he goes, hey, you want to be that girl in the yellow dress? And she's like, what? And he's like, the girl in the yellow dress. She's like, are you messing with me? And then it's like, oh shit.
But I like that because he doesn't know that the person that he passed it to is dead until that moment. He was just going on a realistic date with this girl. He's not weary of the entity of the it anymore.
He's good.
I mean? Yeah, he's good. He thinks he passed on. He has no idea. And then when he realizes, oh shit, I'm still fucked. That was an amazing moment, especially at first you don't know what's going on. But sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine, man. It's just like one thing, a gripe that I would definitely share with Jake, I really found his character to be one of the most interesting characters in the movie. I wanted to see more of him. He's, a lot of people are like, he's a piece of shit for passing on to her. I mean, I'm not here to pass judgment one way or the other, but when they confront him and he's just like that nervous bundle of energy he is right there, that's, to me, I consider that really awesome acting. I really enjoyed him. And just that
girl real?
Like, yeah, that girl real. And I'm glad and I'm also glad the director didn't give us more of him in a way, because I'm like, oh, I want to know more about that guy, but we don't get that. We have to go over here. Like,
just watch the Mighty Ducks. That's Joshua Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
He looks just like him, doesn't he?
He does.
It's crazy.
He does.
That guy does awesome. And the question is, would you pass it on? That's the whole question that you're dealing with. You're dealing with these characters at the end of the movie where they're saying, we have to make a choice now. And she made a choice initially, and then Greg dies, and then she's, wants to take it back. So how does the movie end? We'll get into what the characters are actually doing at the end when we talk about it. But I mean, that is the underlying question. And that's the question. I think more and more it's about an STD, because when you have one, you always have to be cautious of that before you have sex with somebody. If you're a good person, you're going to let them know, hey, I've got this.
This is what's going on down here.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've got to disclose that. And that's one of those things that about the risk, And that also, Greg is a character that takes advantage of her situation. He just wants to have sex with her. He doesn't believe in this.
So does Paul.
Paul is obsessed.
Paul is the worst person in this whole fucking movie, dude.
I think I agree with
in the leg. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, he's got friends behind him at the pool. Like, run on the other side and shoot away from your friends if you're shooting at an invisible fucking object. Okay, I'm gonna suspend disbelief on that point. But if he's pointing a gun towards his goddamn friends, it's like, dude, this guy is clearly irrational. And honestly, before all that happened, I expected Paul to burst up and be like, I see it. And Jay being like, what? How do you see it? And he's like, oh, well, you were asleep last night. And I just thought I'd take the burden off of you.
See, I like what you just said there, Jake. I like the fact that you consider Paul so dangerous. And I would agree. Paul is that character who you can clearly tell is massively in love with Jay from a very early point, but it's not a healthy, like, no. It doesn't feel healthy at all. And first of all, I'm like, well, I think partially I kind of look at Paul as kind of like a pimp, because all he does is hang out with girls all day.
He's a cuck.
Yeah, we're that too, obviously.
He's a fucking cuck. Well, he watched pretty much.
Yeah, I get
Greg
you.
Get
I get
inside
you.
of her.
But also in the early part of this movie, I don't know if any of y'all felt this too, but I almost felt like maybe Jay's sister kind of had a little thing for
Greg.
For Paul. No, I mean, Greg later, but Paul initially.
Well, no, she even admitted that Paul kissed both of them.
Yeah,
he
it's
said,
just
you kissed me and then you kissed my sister after that. But if you look in the car whenever Greg is driving,
there's definitely,
you see the look that fucking Kelly gives him, and it's like,
yeah, she's definitely a little jealous. And
I mean, I would have gone for her anyway. She doesn't have an STD. She doesn't have a mental disorder. She's not fucking running away from something invisible and be like, yeah, what am I doing right now?
I liked her character a lot. I like the sister character a lot.
Let me ask you this. How the fuck did she get a concussion and a broken arm from swerving into a mailbox and then just gently rolling into a fucking cornfield? This movie has some really stupid shit going on in it. I will give you, it's a good movie. I like a lot of it, but it's stupid in a lot of fucking parts also.
Let's refer to Hobbs real quick, because he had that look of whenever you're like, it's a good movie. He's like, no, it's not. Hobby, you hate this movie, don't you?
I don't hate this movie. I really liked it on the second watch, but it's just not for me. I I dislike it a lot less now.
What were your issues with the movie?
First of all, I don't remember when we saw it all that much. I just remember not liking it. I found it to be a little bit boring. And I still found it to be a little bit boring. And there was just something about that ending that really made me like switch over that it was actually about pregnancy. Because like she takes Paul sitting there walking down the street with the monster following them behind like a fucking kid chasing after his mom and dad. And that kind of like fucking like
I hadn't even thought about that at all. And they're like, just don't look at it, it'll go away. So you just didn't feel it. But you're kind of like the artsy kind of guy too, where you like stuff like that. So
I don't see this as an art house film at all.
Ooh, David.
Fight.
David.
Kiss.
Fuck.
One of the first things about, and
I'll
for
give him
me,
my monster.
for me at least, is that an art house film to me, there has to be scenes in the movie where you could take a freeze frame and put it in the gallery and then just walk away from it. So that's one of the things. Another thing is the pacing. I think an art house film always has that kind of slow pacing. And another thing I think an art house film has is it has that sense of like not the typical story, you know? And I believe this movie is not just one thing. For me personally, it's several things. First of all, I believe it's a dream. There are seasons that change overnight. The whole time frame thing, you're never in the same time.
You should watch House too. Oh, man.
The second story. Sidebar.
I can see that, David. Actually, what you said about the freeze frame, I could see that actually.
Yeah, I mean, because
they're thinking of it. Yeah.
There's the scene in the car where the camera's far away. Yeah. The scene where she is in her wheelchair. Yeah, the girl with the arm with the leg like that. It's just a beautiful shot that when she's at the lake and the red and the blue. But then on top of that, so I think it's a dream, but I also think it's about, of course, I think it was about STDs. I also think it's about death, because death is always following you and you can't escape it, and it will always be there no matter what you do. And it comes at you slowly. Sometimes, it's overnight, but a lot of times for most of us, it's slowly always going there. And I also think it's about in Indian culture, what they believe sometimes is that if you have sex with somebody, you're sharing a part of your soul. And so if you have sex with somebody and you don't care about that person, a piece of your soul dies. And so what I think happens in this movie for me is it's showing you what happens when you have sex with people you don't care about. And that's why I feel, I don't want to jump to the end, but that's why I feel at the end that isn't a monster, because I feel that they love each other. And that's the one thing that will kill the demon and will stop the demon from chasing you, is that you love this person.
I can't speak for anyone else, but after David's last diatribe, I'm highly aroused.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I'm not trying to chip away at my soul.
No.
Good take, Dave. Great.
You brought up a good point too
about
the deaths. You know, they call the orgasm the petite morte, which is the little death. You know, the piece of yourself every time you do it. Yeah. Yes, Javi. I saw that look like. Do they call it that? Yeah, it's called the petite morte.
That sounded like a Javi line. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by it.
The idea though, there was a theory I saw earlier about this is purgatory. This isn't. They're in purgatory.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
The demon, the sexually transmitted demon, if you will, the STD, is actually playing with them. He's toying with them. These are the demon's toys to play with. And so it can take its time as much as it wants. And that's why it's a dreamlike state, because they can't
by daylight.
Yeah, like they're playthings within its story. So it's the anxiety that builds in this film and I think the synth music really adds to that.
Oh, yeah. Great.
The music is great. Yeah, the score is fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah. They're saying it's like a sexualized version of Krampus, and they're already in the Christmas globe.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what's going on. And the idea that the anxiety of it's always there, and that's once again, it goes back to the idea of the STD. Like, she deals with it in her own way. Who does she tell? Her closest family members. Everyone deals with it differently. Some people don't want to talk about it. Like the girl in the beginning, if she would have had some friends or family to have her back, maybe she would have lasted longer than the beach. Whereas this girl, Jay, she has friends and family that she tells. And even though it's embarrassing and and no one really believes her, they have her back. So she has a good support structure. And that's what it's about, is having something like that. Go ahead, David.
Don't you think it's also about abuse? Like where you abuse somebody and then you pass that on to somebody else?
The beginning is about rape. That is a rape scene. Regardless of if she says it was consensual, after he takes her and puts her in the wheelchair and says, you have it now, it's a form of rape. And like, that's why
I don't think I agree with that, Doug. I don't think I agree with that. No, she was in love with that dude. Yeah, that wasn't rape at all, man. Like that was completely consensual. Yeah, she was
his
like,
motives were unconventional. But
I would agree. His motives were unconventional, but as far as the actual sex itself, I guess in the purest definition of rape.
Look, if that were the case, he would have fucking drugged her first with the cloth and knocked her out and then fucked her, as opposed to them fucking in the back seat with her. And she's stargazing. She's talking out the back door with the door open, and he's in the trunk looking for his fucking chloroform and rag. And I thought this scene out too, because she's back there. She's talking about like this fairy tale shit, and then he's like, there's no way he's listening to this. And he comes around the back side, opens up the other back door that wasn't already open, lays on top of her. And it's like, I was thinking, were you talking this whole fucking time? And then he puts the fucking rag over her face. So if it were rape, why wouldn't he just knock her the fuck out first?
I don't think rape ends at the idea of orgasm. I think it continued on and became that. That's what my perspective is on it. But I don't know if that's something we should debate or not.
No.
It could be or it could not be.
I just if I'm looking at that scene by itself, I can't agree with that.
He's a total piece of shit. He should have done what he did afterwards. He gaslit the fuck out of the bitch, but it was she thought it was something else, and he fucking, I think at a point really had wanted to do it also, but then it's like, oh wait, this is what I have to do. I'm not standing up for the guy. He's a piece of fucking shit.
And that scene is really crazy, where he takes the wheelchair and he says, you're not going to believe me. This thing can take the form of people that anyone, or take the form of people that you love. And whenever he wheels her over, and you don't know it till later, but the naked woman that is following at that point is his mother. And so when she opens the door later and sees it, because she even goes, do you know this person? He goes, no, I don't. And then the one thing I noticed is the closer the creature got to its final attack, the closer it became to the person who was closer to him, like a family member. And there is the idea in the movie that the possibility of the father character might have been molested when he was younger, and that's why he took his life. PTSD because of that, right? And so that's the carry-on thing too. The idea of sexual assault is another thing in these movies. So it's also. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Doug. Go ahead.
No. I was done.
Also, what's interesting is how the majority of the time the demon is in some form of a human that would be sleeping, whether in naked or they're in a robe. And so that's another level of the whole dream thing. Yeah, the majority of the time they're. And also, did you notice the girl that got killed in the beginning? She shows up as the demon. She's one of the demons when they're chasing out of the boathouse.
No,
she's one of the manifestations
from the garage.
Yeah,
after the dude crawled through the hole. Okay.
Yeah.
How come no one's nitpicking the fact that lady?
Guy.
How come no one's nitpicking the fact that girl was rocking heels in the beginning? That really bothered me initially.
In the clips, I did.
It made me hurt. It made my feet hurt, bro. Like watching her run. It was like it was like watching Jurassic World again.
Nice, Dallas.
Well, the other thing is that based upon the way that the leg is bent backwards, it's going to sound horrible. And later on, whenever Greg's mother demon has sex with him, whenever she's killing him, I'm expecting that the girl who died on the beach, the demon had sex with her, and that's
bent her leg back so far.
Yeah, because it bent the leg back and ripped the other one off. And it's just
I don't get the motive.
Yeah,
at all, or how it kills, or how it decides what it's going to kill.
Right, and why didn't she run?
How can people interact with it? Also, that's where the movie fucks up, honestly. If the people weren't able to interact with it at all, and they just fucking had to believe that the person was following it from it, there's no outcome where they can survive. It doesn't matter if they fucking fly to Australia, they're going to catch up with them, a year later, whatever else. There's no escaping it. I think that would have been the better story, as opposed to you could just blindly shoot and hit it with a fucking chair like it's on goddamn Monday Night Raw or whatever else.
I like that.
Like,
I've got the
they
chair.
can shoot it in the fucking pool, which I mean, we all saw Mythbusters. You can't fucking shoot in the goddamn pool like that and kill something.
Looks cool though. Looks
Like
cool.
fucking yeah, dude. They did it great in Saving Private Ryan, but
I think all that stuff plays into the fact that it is a dream.
Mhm.
You know, it's very
that makes the
dreamlike.
most
Yeah.
sense. That makes
Yeah,
the most
that
sense.
it is this dream that's because also, you know, you get into like they never talk, you never hear like the cops talking about the unsolved murder. You know,
Right,
you never see anything about the people, like a girl being found with her legs bent backwards on the beach.
Right.
You know?
We have a plethora of unexplained deaths where nobody knows anything. And I thought about that also whenever she crawled in through Greg's window to go warn Greg. And the cops are there the next day. It's like they don't have any trace that somebody else came in here afterwards. They're not like catching DNA off of Jay, who lives right across the street, who probably left fucking hair or whatever else in the house across the street.
Yeah, but also they have there is an undertone of don't trust adults because over and over again she's like, don't tell the mom. She's like, don't tell her mom, don't tell her mom.
Well, yeah.
And they tell anytime they tell a story that involves adults, it involves them in a negative way, whether that be the idea that they found the pornography and Greg's mother found it and they all got in trouble, or if the girl talks about not being allowed to go below 8 Mile and like how things weren't explained to them. It goes back to a lot. Things aren't explained to them. They don't, like, when they find the pornography, they don't know it's bad. They don't understand why they're getting in trouble. They don't understand why they can't go below 8 Mile. That's not explained. And then when they get there, it's like the loss of innocence. Like they finally get that. And that's a lot of what this is about.
It's all the parents' fault.
That's another thing I really loved about this movie is the setting.
I agree.
Michigan. Fucking
Yeah.
Michigan as a fucking horror movie. Like, you know, it's, you know, everyone talks about Detroit and, you know, how scary it is and whatnot. But can y'all think of another horror movie that has anything in and around Detroit?
Don't breathe.
Okay, I haven't seen it. So I don't
Oh, you
know.
haven't seen it? Oh, wow.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
8 Mile, RoboCop.
8
Well,
Mile is
RoboCop-
a horror movie.
RoboCop, I'm giving to my town. I'm
Yeah,
giving
I
to
know.
my
right.
I
town.
know.
That's
I know
right.
it's filmed in Dallas, but it is Detroit in the
I don't
movie.
give a
Yeah.
shit. I'm giving
It's
it City
new-
Hall.
I know.
New Detroit.
Look, I know Reunion Tower is in the motherfucker. Okay,
I know.
get it.
Nah, Las Colinas. Nah, that's my city.
Just
No, but
saying.
no, like, and did y'all get this kind of funny little Peanuts
Gung-ho.
vibe going on? Where
Yes.
like
Yes.
all the
Wah,
adults
wah,
talking.
wah,
Yeah,
wah,
like
wah.
the teacher, excuse me, I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck what you have to
Yeah.
say. I like that. I like the fact that parents are just irrelevant.
Well, first of
They're
all,
irrelevant in
he
this
was
movie.
in college, and the teacher had no fucking excuse to ask her, "Excuse me, whatever." She can walk out of the class if she wants to. She's not interrupting shit. No, I don't
Play-
care. I'm paying for this shit. You don't ask me a goddamn word, okay? If I want to leave in the middle of your fucking dissertation, I'm leaving. Fuck you.
I would agree. I'm just telling you, like in my experience, those college professors, they can get kind of
They can suck some dicks. They can suck
I-
my dick. Please, I'll
No,
pay for this
I totally get you, man. But yeah, like, well, who cares? But that's not even my point. My point being is like, I love that kind of like the parents almost like they don't exist to them. They only exist to
Oh
us,
yeah,
the audience.
they could just leave for like weeks at a time. She goes and takes a fucking summer rental vacation
Yeah.
on some
Well,
lake, and the parents don't question it. You know, they're like, "Don't tell mom." I was like, "Does his mom even fucking ask?"
Yeah. Well, they imply that the parents are in their own little world. Go ahead, David.
So Jessup,
I wanted to talk about the genius setup of how, as the audience, you start to always look in the background.
yes.
That as the movie's going on, you're always like scanning because it's
Is
so
there something
subtle.
walking towards
Yeah,
him?
and they do a good job of showing some people that are walking that aren't it, but it's such a interesting thing. It's almost like Jaws when you're looking for the shark fin all the time, you know. And another thing I really liked about this movie is I love it when it has people that I don't know because I'm able to really lose myself in the movie. There's a great movie called The Florida Project. But the problem I have with it is it stars Willem Dafoe, and I know who he is. Everything in that movie is so realistic because you feel like you're watching real people, but when you see a star that you know, it kind of takes you out of it. So I like that I had no idea who the fuck these kids were.
Well, there's another
Right,
good point there
right.
too. The camera work is very handy cam. so it feels like a documentary. It feels like you're in place. They don't do a lot of shots above or below. They'll do the real artsy shots, like when she's playing with the flower, when she's doing her little monologue. But then most of the time, the camera is straight on, almost like our cameras are right now.
Oh yeah, it's very very down the middle.
Right, exactly. And that makes it a lot easier to actually put yourself in either the footsteps of the killer at one point, whenever it's coming down the hallway. That is the one where it is the point of view camera. But most of the other time, you feel like you could just be a character watching. Dutch tilt is a great thing to add, but it honestly, like dreamlike, like Dutch tilt works amazingly. What the hell is going on? But the other thing I wanted to ask is also, could this entire movie be the revenge of the ant she kills in the pool at the beginning of the movie? Because why does she kill that ant? Jay's like rolling his eyes. I'm just asking questions. Trying to get.
All right, guys, it's been great. Y'all have a good night.
All right, guys, the ending. We got to talk about it. Okay, first of all, does he go to the prostitutes? There's no way. You think he does, Jake?
Yeah, he's a little fucking pervert.
Also, before we get into the ending, who here thinks she fucked those guys in the boat? Because I am full on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he went Captain Stabbing. Like
the only thing, I'm
that's why
glad that
like it took so long. That's how many days have passed, and then it's like, oh well.
Jake, will you fix that?
No, I'm on Dutch tilt.
All right.
Oh Jesus.
If we wanted to like really comedy this movie up, we could totally throw in like everybody wants some. What's up, too? But yeah, I mean, like I actually, to be honest, before you guys mentioned it tonight, I never even thought twice about her fucking those guys in the boat. And I've seen this movie like 7 times.
So you thought she did, or are you saying that you didn't?
No, I never even thought about that until you guys brought it up tonight.
Well, this is why, because the next shot you see her driving and she's obviously been bawling her eyes out.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's crying that not only did she fuck 3 guys, but she just murdered 3 guys.
Murdered 3 guys.
Because I guarantee you, when she was fucking them, after she fucked them, she didn't do what that guy did and told them what was up.
No, she just left.
Yeah,
and
right.
you know what? I thought about this. There's so many fucking things. Like, you had all the money in the fucking world, right? Like, if you had a bank account or you were a rich person, just fly a different place, have a bag ready to go at every time, and you could just avoid this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or just fucking astronaut.
Yeah, or not even that. Just cannonball run it. Go from fucking.
I think I've won. I've won.
Honestly, but I mean, obviously,
it ain't going in space.
It's gonna find a way into space.
What if Elon Musk is secretly trying to get away from it?
And here's another question.
They don't understand their rules to their own movie, though.
Yeah,
that's frustrating.
I totally get it, man. But for whatever reason, I would be right there with you, man. But for whatever reason, I can't explain it, but I forgive this movie a lot.
Yeah,
I can't.
It's a good movie.
Really can't.
They did really good on it. I will say that. It's a great fucking movie.
Every point you've made, I'm like, yeah, he's right. Yep.
Yeah, you can pick it apart, but I still like the movie. I know that. That's what I was saying earlier.
I think the cinematography, I think the music, I think if you have good cinematography and music, you can forgive a lot of shit. And I think this movie proves that. And
I mean, plenty of movies prove that. Predator.
Yeah, but like, I think, was this pretty much the first movie that kind of rocked that synth chord that a lot of other movies
The new wave synth.
Yeah, do y'all know of other ones? Like
this came out before Stranger Things.
2.5 years before Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
this was like one of the first ones that started really using it. It's like John Carpenter again.
And I'm pretty familiar with a couple of the actors in this movie. I was a big fan of the United States of Terror. Keir Gilchrist, he's Paul. He played a very troubled, kid growing up, trying to come up to, be comfortable with his sexuality and all those other things. He was also in a show on Netflix called Atypical. He does awkward probably better than just about any young actor. And in this movie, he's kind of the elder statesman. He's like 22, 23 years old, and I'm sure he's playing kind of a younger one. And then Micah Monroe, Jay herself, she's in another movie called The Guest.
The Guest is great. That's awesome.
I mean, what a 1-2 punch she had with those two movies. Like, as an indie darling, I was like, yeah, this is someone to watch.
She's great.
And she was apparently she started out as she was a kiteboarder.
I
She's
kept
an
thinking,
athlete.
I kept thinking she started out as Hillary Duff because they look the exact same.
Sure, but I mean, this girl can act, man. Make it
Oh, she's
around
great.
me.
Amanda
She's
Seyfried.
great.
Got some chops, man. I was really impressed with the young actors in this movie. All of them. Her sister, even. I liked her sister being that
Her sister
weird kind
Kelly
of
is great.
like that. That kind of like aloofness to her, where she doesn't even see the world like around her in a lot of ways, and like it's just. I love the roles each character plays.
I question if she wasn't autistic because of a lot of the little things where like she's focusing, she's hyper focused on stuff. That's I kept going like, is this character autistic? Because whether it be, and I know I tried to make the joke earlier, but killing the ant, that's a moment where she takes the blades of grass, which I know they said that could be an allegory for cutting in that moment, but playing with the flower after the sex. Just these weird moments where she and the environment are one, which you don't see in movies often. But then again, I kept going back to autism for that because people are autistic. They line stuff up or they hyper focus on stuff. Like these important things are happening around them, but they're not in those moments. They're in these smaller moments that are there. So I don't know how that would play into the bigger story. I just thought that was intriguing to have those moments in the movie. Let's talk about the ending, though. Like I was saying, do you guys think that the creature lived, or supposedly this is what's going on? They have not defeated it. He does not go to the prostitute, which I don't know why he doesn't. That's genius. That's your fucking save there. It's horrible to do. It's wrong, but that's how you.
Well,
get
they're
that
just
out
gonna
there.
die, and it's always gonna come back to you. That's what I'm saying. The rules of this shit doesn't make any sense. It
I
kills.
mean-
So, like, if the last person dies before the entity gets it, does that mean they automatically move on to the next person?
Well, here's what they do to fix the problem. Supposedly, at the end of the movie, they're just having sex with each other over and over and passing the entity back to each other. That is what
So
the
they're
director.
just constantly looking over their shoulders.
That's what the director has said. That this is a child's idea of how to fix a bigger problem is just by passing it back and forth, back and forth. Now, I didn't get that from the ending, but that's what the director said is their thing. So when you see that thing in the background walking behind them, the baby, if you will, Javi said earlier, that is the entity following them.
Well, and then it comes into my kind of theory is the way to defeat it is monogamy.
Ooh, that's their theory.
Well, square, but I mean, I'm with it.
I get behind it. What do you guys think would be the how do you fix this?
Abstinence.
Well, I mean, it's too late.
Abstain from having sex, you heathens.
It's too late. I mean, so you could go to space, like Jay said, to get which be fucked up. You end up in space, you're jumping on the moon, and then it just starts jumping after you. Even
yeah, like okay, so clearly it can walk on water, right? Like there,
it's Jesus.
Did it walk on the water?
No, but I'm just saying, how if that were the case, why wouldn't you just go to some fucking island?
Yeah, that's why I thought she was going to go get in the
like,
boat.
What the fuck? You already buy the fucking empty, vast area of ocean or lake or wherever the fuck. Well, it had to be lake because they're in Michigan.
You're right.
Way, like, why not just...
If she leaves the continent, right? Yeah. If she leaves, like, it can't follow her, right?
Well, I mean, how does it work? That's what I'm saying. They don't know the rules to their own fucking movie.
She's carrying it with her. That's why.
Oh, because, well, I mean, if they can break through windows to get to you, they can crawl up on a house butt-ass naked to get to you.
Yeah, I can't get through doors and stuff.
Where they fucking claw their way onto the fucking SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket and just fucking jump out whenever they get to proximity of their destination and just float towards you. I don't...
What do you guys think? What do you think?
It's a good movie, but it doesn't make sense.
I think if you want to defeat this thing, you really need to help it find love.
Yeah, it's looking for somebody.
Like first of all, like the entity, it likes some rough sex. So maybe you need to find someone with like a little more kink than that.
Hook it up,
dude. Go to the fucking AVN Awards. You're set. I mean, just fucking find some cheap whore there who wants to do it for some FaceTime on Twitch or whatever else. And then they'll go on spread to everybody else, and then
it's not slut shame here.
I think I think if you hook her up with Babadook, I think that would probably solve it.
Oh,
God
dude,
damn it.
because
You
you
know
know
right, good
Babadook
star.
fucks.
Oh, yeah, Babadook.
fucks.
Babadook. That's so
I'll
funny you
say.
said that. We'll get to that later. Javi, how do you think you defeat it?
Definitely not abstinence. Oh God, it's a terrible, terrible plan. I like David's idea, monogamy.
Yeah.
What if you trap it in a magical fleshlight?
I would
I
actually,
know-
feel,
I-
I would actually feel bad for it in that case because I put this fleshlight through some serious things.
How is monogamy? But Dave, just from a logistic point of view, how is monogamy not going to create just a BOGO scenario for this entity?
Well, then the cycle ends with y'all, though, right?
Well, that's
Nope,
but
goes back
this-
down the line.
But see, that's the thing where my belief is that it's not the demon following him, because the guy isn't wearing like a nightgown or underwear. He's not like, he's dressed like a normal person. I think that the entity stops following people when they fall in love. I think this is an allegory of punishing people for having indiscriminate sex.
Ooh, premarital sex.
Yeah.
Now I
Well,
hate this movie.
just having sex with just a fuck without having any kind of emotional tie to it. And I think at the end they fall in love, and that's why they're not being chased anymore.
Are you sure
That's-
Lindsay
well,
isn't
if-
listening in?
I mean, if you think
Shut
about it,
up.
if you think about it in that regards, Paul never saw the thing. It was only her burden to carry. So he's like stepping in to be the
He felt
surrogate
it.
father for that fucking baby.
I
Which is
think
why
he's
it's only
right.
her burden.
I think Javi's
you
right,
go.
because
There
if
you go.
monogamy destroys the creature, then it doesn't go away. It just becomes a roommate or like a baby, like your own child at that point, right? And so it's just sitting there at the couch all the time, and they're madly in love, and it's just looking at them, and it is. So
They
I
just
agree
give it
with
an
Javi.
iPad, and it's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah,
though.
just give exactly. It needs to be occupied.
Y'all think
I'm
gonna
Homeboy
watch
got
some
her
fucking
pregnant?
Caillou.
Yeah, and that's why Paul can just be like, "Oh God, you're not my kid. You're not my entity." Deuces, if he ever wants to, because
What if
it's not attached to him; it's attached to her.
What if Jay's right though? What if it just wants to be born into this world? What if the entity is just the demon that's waiting
didn't
for
say
a
that.
pregnancy?
I said
All I
it
heard
once.
was all I heard was pregnancy.
I didn't say that.
All right.
Not me.
Delivery.
Two things I wanted to bring up before we move on. First of all, I like what Jessup said earlier about how many times are we close to death. You know, that's kind of what this movie's about. Death, it's always behind us. It's always following us. And sometimes it gets a little bit too close and we escape narrowly.
Ask
and that's
Devin
happened
Sawa
to all.
about that, bro. Ask Devin Sawa about
It's
that.
very Devin Sawa.
There's a lot of Final Destination going on this. Also.
Secondly, would you be, if wearing a condom, would that stop it from moving from person to person if it's an allegory? No?
We'll
Okay.
just send it back into you, right?
Oh, shit. If you've got the demon, you keep the demon. Guys, anything else you want to say about the movie? Nothing?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's all right movie. I think it's all right. Let's do
I will
recommendations.
say it's not bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Well, okay, well, let's recommend it. Javi, what do you think? You recommend it? Would you tell somebody to watch this?
Yeah, if you want to, like Jay said, if you want to watch on this wet, gushy day, yeah, absolutely. This is a good wet day movie.
That sounds dirtier than it probably was meant to be.
Mhm.
Maybe not.
David, do you recommend the movie?
I would say it like this. I would say, did you like Hereditary? Did you like Midsummer? Did you like The Lighthouse? Did you like The Witch? If you like artsy horror films, you'll
Good
fucking love this
mind fuck.
movie. Yeah, but if you're like more into like jump scares and shit like that, and no, don't watch the movie.
All right, Jay, do you recommend the movie?
Fuck yeah.
Quick and easy. And finally, Jake, do you recommend it?
Yes, I do. This is a good movie. Like I said, the complaints that I have with it do not hinder the movie in any way whatsoever. This is just on a rewatching, and I can pick out these little things, but definitely if you're watching it for the first time, fuck yeah, you're gonna love this movie. It's badass.
I don't
And
know a lot of people that saw this the first time, at least the first time, and said, "What a shit movie." I mean,
Right.
Javi might be the first, but like,
Definitely.
at 95% Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm not a Rotten Tomatoes guy. I'm not a guy who holds to like the gospel.
rating, man. That's the way to go.
But 95%, I was like, man, dude, I don't know. I don't know if I can disagree, but yeah.
I think Jay, I think a lot has to do with the fact of what you said earlier, and that everyone was so blown away by the premise. Is that I think that alone makes up for a lot of the like misgivings that we have.
How the fuck? Yeah. It's yeah.
And I do agree with Jake. It has gremlin logic where if you look too far into it, you're going to be like, this kind of falls apart. But there's something just so creepy about a slow moving Michael Myers style thing, monster coming after you. And it's the waiting, it's the moments in between. And I think with anything tragic, like, an STD or a disease or anything, it's the in between moments where you're constantly thinking about it. It's constantly in your mind, but you're trying to live your life living without that fear, but also living in fear. And there's something about that anxiety this movie builds. It's just unbelievably good. And it has to do with both the cinematography and the soundtrack. And are there answers? Who knows? Will we get a sequel? Hopefully, if they do a sequel, it'll be about chasing.
Why wouldn't they have done it yet?
The STD down the ladder, because it was such a low budget horror movie.
Whatever, man. This movie made money, dude. It made like 20 times its budget. Like it's
they had a $6 million budget. It made 20 million back.
1.3 million. It's like 1.3 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
They made like $22 million over its.
Initially, this was going to be direct to video
with no marketing.
It was going to be direct to video, but after Con, they saw that it had the ability to go out and actually make money in the theatrical run, and it did. So nicely done. And I would like to see a sequel. It's not too late. You got, we're only 6 years removed, so maybe that's how long it takes.
I do love how many allegories you could actually apply to this movie, though. I will give it that. Like, it is open for a pretty wide scope of interpretation.
That's art house, man. It's like. Yep. David, here's a movie.
STD, abortion, BLM, all of them.
David, here's a movie that I guarantee you've seen. Naked Lunch.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's that kind of like.
Yep.
It's that kind of open-ended. You can totally I love that movie.
Flagrant false advertising.
Why do I love that movie?
Yeah.
But and the other thing I'll end with saying it is it's just I find that. I love being surprised, and I love a movie that kind of takes me out of because I can be a fucking snob. I know it seems so against my character, but I just, I love a movie that really, I love a movie that really hits me over the head and it was surprise. And I think that's another reason I give this movie so much credit is because it totally blindsided me. Absolutely. I love that.
Sandra Bullock was great in this.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. All right, guys, let's get the clips.
All right.
Clipping it up. All right, Running in Heels.
Putting it up on the west side.
Fucking aerating her lawn is all she was doing.
Hey. Are you okay?
I love the rotation of the camera.
Yeah.
That goes completely around.
It's a good thing we're not seeing it.
This yeah. And this one was a hard one. This one was a hard one to clip because there's a lot of long takes in this one.
And there's a lot of TNA and balls and penis.
Yeah, I try my best. Hopefully, I clipped okay. Why you shouldn't run in heels? This is why you shouldn't run in heels. Right there.
Oh,
Just saying.
Oh, such a cool shot.
With
Yeah,
no
but it makes you
explanation.
wonder, what does the fucking monster want with these people, though? The fucking mom.
He wants punishment.
Bang.
He wants punishment.
All right.
I thought he just wanted to bang, baby, bang.
Like Frank Castle is it.
I think Dave Jessup is the actual killer because look at the way he sets up all the bodies.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So the clamshell ain't real.
It could be. It totally could be.
The girl,
fucking DS.
Girl in the yellow dress.
Wrote the girl in the yellow dress.
Yeah, I love how he's just pointing at people in the movie theater. Also,
It's here.
Right there.
Oh fuck! It's back. that other one didn't make it.
Oh, by the way, the Granada Theater or the one Lakewood Theater has a rising piano like that, organ.
Oh,
Dude, I love that choice, man. I fucking love that choice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm sorry, I don't I was you're talking
Can we
about.
go? I'm sorry, I just don't feel well. Can we go back to the car?
No, I bought the tickets, asshole.
You know he's the lead singer in the cover band, right?
Yeah, like
he
so
has to be.
this movie is timeless, but he is
Bassist.
from 1990.
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy's from 1998.
Yeah, totally.
That's Joshua Jackson playing with flowers.
That's the
I had this
dolphin.
image of myself.
Cool shot. Such a
Like,
cool shot.
A really cute guy.
Yeah, he's in the back of the
Okay.
truck while she's talking, and he's probably
Getting
like,
the rope
"You
and
fucking
shit."
talking the whole time." Jesus, shut up.
It.
Another
That
great
is-
shot, man.
It's
Beautiful.
Crazy.
You're not gonna believe me. And I need you to remember what I'm saying. This thing, it's gonna follow you.
I love the camera that is attached to that. That is
Right,
so
yeah.
unnerving.
And that ambient noise too.
Yeah. Yep. And look at her. She is so fucking scared right there.
Well, she's
I
still
think
out
she's-
of it, man.
she's in
she doesn't know what
shock.
the fuck's happening. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's silhouetted enough. We'll get away from it.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's fine.
Wait a minute, you're fine.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I can still whack it to it, but I don't.
there's a small little production note as well. You notice how unslutty they have Jay's outfits throughout the movie?
Yeah.
Like nothing's just crass.
Yeah.
It's
She's
so-
not sexualized at
It's
all.
almost like a pinup thing going on there, which
She's
is
wearing
another
them
thing that
granny
adds to
panties.
the. Sure.
Yeah. Granny.
And I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker.
Like
And
fucking
in short,
discount Amber
was
Heard.
afraid to say, I am Lazarus. Come
That
from
fucking
the dead.
synth is killing
Come
it.
back to tell you all.
I'll take her over
I
Amber
shall
Heard any day
tell
of the
you
week.
all.
The music fucking makes this movie, though.
Little
It's very
Shining.
unnerving. It's very
Shining.
unnerving. It has that
Shining.
deep bass sound to it that makes you can feel it in your chest.
Yeah,
It
well,
adds to
I
the
mean, as soon
panic
as
of
it
the scene, too.
right, and as soon as it kicks on, you automatically know some shit's about to go down. But it's like it builds.
Hello.
It's so creepy.
That's a great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Notice
They
the,
don't
notice
acknowledge it.
it doesn't blink either. Did you guys ever notice that anytime it's on screen?
But it does have those weird eyes sometimes.
Yeah, it has
that's
those
another inconsistency
has
that
those
I'm actually afraid
demon
to
eyes. those black
I don't
eyes.
like that they don't walk at the same pace. All of them. That's the thing that gets me. It's like it's like
I didn't notice that myself, but I can totally understand it. I totally see it now, like looking back, like doing a deep dive.
I mean, I guess maybe the dream aspect. Maybe it's some seem quicker than others, but
Like
if they all walked at the same pace, that would make it even more chilling to me.
Fever dream. It's more of a fever dream.
everything, like I love that fact that like every one of y'all has something new to say about this movie, and it makes me want to watch it immediately after we're done here, so I can take all your different ideas and expand on it. It's great.
Broken window.
Sex ed talk the next day.
I got one too.
I fucking love that kid so much, man. He's such a good actor.
Hopefully I censored it. I did. Ew.
Dude, the piss was such a great touch.
That was a great
piss-
This is what
Yeah.
made me think about abuse.
Yeah.
Like I really felt like this was also about abuse.
I
Because
got
that girl
that.
had obviously just been raped.
And
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got that kind of same feeling from the Resident Evil reboot also, whenever homegirl fucking pisses herself in the cabin. She's still wearing her shoes and it's just running down there. This movie came out after that, but I'm saying, like, I'm sure it was...
what? Wait, what are you talking about? What Resident Evil?
Evil reboot, whenever the chick goes up the stairs and she starts cutting her face with the mirror. And
You mean Evil Dead?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said Resident
I
Evil.
was just wondering.
yeah.
You're talking about
No,
the game or
Evil
something?
Dead reboot. Evil Dead reboot.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Whenever homegirl's cutting her face with the mirror upstairs, and he walks up there and sees her, and she's pissing all over herself, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Ugh.
Nice.
Don't open the door.
I can't wait to watch that
Open
one
the
again.
door.
Yeah, me too.
See?
This scared the fuck out of me in the
Yeah.
theater.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Yeah.
god.
Hey, is this battery drop, guys?
Yes, yes. Well, no, you know what? I
No.
think the girl with the broken foot was the battery drop for me. When you see that scene, it's like boom.
But like the first time you see it, would that be considered the battery drop? Because you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I for me it is because it's such a shocking. There's something that we talk about a lot about uncanny valley. Having your foot in that position is so unnerving, and then it gives you that sense of like what happened to her. So for me, that was a battery drop. But this is another 12-pack of double D batteries being placed in Chucky and then dropping again.
Yellow dress for me. Every time I watch now, when he mentions yellow dress, that's when I go, okay.
Oh, something's up. Yeah,
things just got started.
Yeah.
This for me.
Protection. So did you read in the IMDb, Jake, about how this house that he was hiding in was shaped like a stop sign, where the rooms are interconnected?
Interesting.
And the middle that goes upstairs. So this would be the best house to hide in because the windows surrounding it are all done up with this protection thing.
Yeah.
But like he could run downstairs and run out of any of the rooms, basically. So that is why he chose this house.
Well, and he even told her that at the beginning. He's like, "Don't go into a room with only one exit." Like he laid down the ground rules, and obviously he's like, "I know you're not going to believe me, but going there and seeing that, like, she should have already." I mean, I guess she's starting to piece it together, but yeah.
Okay, so Jake, now that you've opened, Pandora's box, now I'm fucking bitching. So he had this spot, but he was still living at home with his mom. How could he afford that?
Well, if that place is abandoned.
Yeah, he's
so
squatting.
They said he was renting a place. Under a presumed name.
A pseudonym.
A pseudonym. So yeah, now I'm on the Jake.
Because his name it was Hugh whenever she knew him, but his name was Jason for real. They found him because he went to fucking Lawson High School. But yeah, none of this. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream.
I either want, this is what I want. I either want like a real deal. This movie can only have either one sequel where fucking Jay goes looking for the truth, or a prequel where we find out all about this Hugh guy.
Yeah.
Because to me, he is clearly, I love Jay. She shares a name with me, but I'll say this. He is to me the most interesting character in this movie. Is that guy. He's like Michael Biehn in a way, because this movie does have a lot of parallels, in my opinion, to like Terminator, when you have this unstoppable machine.
Michael Biehn and Stifler.
Sure, totally agree. Yeah, but now I'm picking it apart. Thanks, Jake.
And the idea for the sequel would be what you just said, though, would be chasing down the totem pole to find the origins of the STD. So that would be the other thing I want to point out, and I didn't clip it, was they go into the medicine closet and they find a bunch of medicines without labels on them. But that's also the other thing that kind of leads me to think this movie is about STDs, is because of the medication in the cabinet too. It's just a one-off thing. It had to be
for something other than like narcotic purposes, because you had to be aware at all times, right? Like unless he's taking meth to stay awake the entire time. I didn't
think about that.
But if he's taking some fucking downers or something, like that's a no-go. You're already fucked right there, because you cannot keep your attention the entire time.
Right. So he's probably taking uppers. Boom, boom. Cool shot.
But also, if you stay awake for days at a time, you start having hallucinations. You know?
This is I think they do the rotation.
Music is so fucking good.
They do the rotation camera like 3 times.
Yeah,
I like this because it rotates and you see the over here, and they don't even know that it's there.
Yeah. Right. Well, also that's a perfect example of like the whole dream feeling. Is you listen to the announcer. The announcer is very much like that droning sound, like from Freddy Krueger when they're in the school and the guy's doing the announcements is just talking like this.
It's like Ben Stein, monotone, Bueller.
Joshua Jackson.
Freakonomics.
Look, she could do the same thing I did. I mean, it should be easy for her. She's a girl. any guy would be with you, just sleep with someone else and tell him to do the same thing. Maybe he'll never come back. Look, I'm not safe either, okay? We shouldn't even be in the same place. I'm sorry, you guys need to get the fuck out. If it kills her, it gets me. It goes straight down the line to whoever started it.
Like, can you get it through same sex? Like, could she like scissor a chick?
Yeah,
And then it would pass to them.
The
Or-
director said that it will pass that way. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was like.
I love
does
whenever
oral sex
directors
count?
say these things after the movie comes out.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Oh my God! Help me! Jay, what is it? Help!
Oh! RKO out of nowhere! Ow!
This part did scare me, and I'm going to close my eyes. 'Cause I want to see
Boo.
Craig.
A real roach.
Come on,
from
Craig.
Roach from people under the stairs.
But that's what happened to Roach.
Fucking no, it looked like Michael Cera's little brother. Fucking that would scare the shit out of me.
The guy who
It's-
played Roach was also in Idle Hands.
He was also in jury duty.
He was also in Twister.
Question: is it a breaking and entering
that's
if
it.
it's you? So if it's you, are you technically breaking into your own house?
He doesn't own it.
There's that low bass sound again, man. It's so unnerving.
Oh
it
yeah.
is.
This is just icky. This is just wrong.
Craig, don't open the door!
What the fuck, Mom?
This isn't Pornhub.
What do you want, stepmom?
Yeah, like
good,
the
good
shit.
one, Javi.
Do you notice she's peeing on him too? This part's kind of.
At least he's going out doing what he loves.
Captain Stabbing.
Can I just say something about that bass?
Sure.
And why I fucking hate it so much in certain horror movies. I don't hate it like I hate it. It's just it triggers so much anxiety because I know when I have a panic attack and your heart starts pounding really fast and your blood rushing in your eardrums, that's all you fucking hear is just that rushing sound, and that's what that like heavy bass just like triggers me. It's just like, oh fuck, I'm about to panic, and you
No,
just get
you're
so
right.
distracted. You're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Claustrophobic. It makes you feel like you're
Yeah.
inside of your body. You feel like you're cocooned almost. And this whole movie has that claustrophobic feeling. And like, I think a big part of it is the way, and this is a perfect example. Everything's right down the barrel in this movie. Everything's centered. And so using that wide angle lens too, everything just feels claustrophobic on the outside. And like somebody said earlier, you're constantly looking for the it. You're constantly looking for the slow walk. And those are usually out of frame a little bit, so it can walk into frame. But everything else that's happening is just right there, dead center. And I think that adds to that claustrophobic feeling because you're just looking out the barrel of the gun the whole time. I just added this clip because I didn't think we'd talk about the captain stabbing and debate it, but we really did. So, does she
Why
do
would
it?
you
Does she
not
not
think
do
that
it?
we thought of like talk about this?
I don't know.
Clearly, she's like, "Hey guys, I'm a whore on the beach by myself. Come bang me."
Let's go. Home Aloneing. Oh, she got all this stuff at Goodwill. That's all I could think the whole time. Like, the
Yeah,
stuff they
that's
pull out
why
is all over
another
the place.
part where exposition would have helped just a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't see them carry any of this shit there. So.
No, they left their house and they had all this.
Hey, by the way, Javi, this has got a let the right one in type of vibe to it.
It's the
actually
climax.
does, yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
climax, yeah.
Yep.
I want to change my pick from Little Monsters to Let the Right One In.
Okay.
Dude, I would love that.
Oh,
You're doing the
dude,
foreign-
totally down.
foreign version,
totally
right?
down. Yep, yeah, the real
The
version.
foreign
The
version.
real version.
Okay.
That's the best version.
Right on.
I'm a big Chloe Moretz fan, but yeah, she couldn't save that movie.
And I think Jake
Trash.
just said the people under the stairs, and Jay has changed his pick to that also. So
Boom.
huck 'em, chuck 'em.
Football!
Oh, nice.
Man, you little dog.
Oh my God!
I
That's
love
a cool thing.
balls running around. Where is he? Where is he? Look where he's throwing the shit in, idiot. He's going around in a circle.
White paint, just a big old giant
All I
bucket
could
of paint.
think was spray
Fucking
paint.
goddamn idiot. Yes.
Should have brought baby powder.
Where is it?
I'm gonna shoot my friend. I don't know where to point guns.
Ta-da!
Yep. Right there to the back of the head. Boom. No problem. After you shot your friend in the leg, though.
Water gun. Yep.
Nope. Nope.
Not with a 38.
Nope. Yeah.
It's a beautiful shot.
Fucking 500 cal fucking.
Oh,
Hey
yeah.
man, nice shot. Speaking of which, remember that song "Hey Man, Nice Shot" that was about the guy
By Filter.
Yeah.
It was about Bud Dwyer.
Bud Dwyer.
Yeah.
Bud
yeah.
Dwyer.
Did you guys ever watch the video of him?
Oh yeah, I used to jack off to it all the time.
Yeah.
It's so nasty.
Come on, man.
It's great watching someone's life leave their body. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
It's the sequel. It still fucking follows. There it is.
Oh, finally she got some fucking autographs on her signature or on her cast.
All right, guys. So that's the clips there that's going to recommendations. The first one, somebody said it earlier, will be The Babadook. Another movie that is an allegory for parenthood and being what is it? After you have a baby, what's it called?
Postpartum depression.
Thank you.
Postpartum
That is what
depression.
the movie is about, and it is
Post-mortem suppression.
so fucking good. Have you guys seen The Babadook?
Oh, love it.
Love
the Babadook.
Do not like.
Right. That's all right.
Do not like.
Do not like legit don't like, or it scares
Yeah,
you?
dude. I was not a fan. I wish I was.
I love
Right.
the ending of The Babadook. I think it's so much fun. Just
Babadookie.
to spoil it, I won't spoil it. Just watch the movie. You'll enjoy
Is
it.
it even scary? Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's terrifying, dude. It's about the boogeyman. It's about
That kid is fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
and
want to?
The real villain in the Babadook is Annoyance, because that kid is insufferable.
Yes, 100%.
It's fucking it's fucking Psycho Gorman again.
Yeah, you thought Mimi was
No,
bad. The
no,
kid in
never
the
mind.
Babadook.
Babadook's a masterpiece. I'm back on the Babadook train. Babadook, you heard it here first. I like Babadook first.
It's amazing. You
Callback.
watch the mother go from like kind of annoyed to like lose her fucking shit. Like she's going to kill this child annoyed. Like it's a great descent into madness, and it's a lot of fun to watch, and the ending is killer. So definitely recommend it. Second one we would recommend is High Tension 2003, an allegory for sexual repression. A character gets chased by two characters get chased by a killer for God knows what reason. These two lesbian looking characters.
I thought High Tension came out in 2005.
It possibly released in America, but the foreign release.
It was, yeah. They did release it in America, and they dubbed it over. And whenever I went and saw the movie theater, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Because they sold it something different. And
I hate dubbed.
Yeah, same here. But they didn't in the
Give you an option.
trailers for it. No, they didn't tell you. Well, I'm just saying, just the trailers for the movie. Whenever I was like, "Dude, I want to go see this movie. It looks badass." And then I get there, and it's like, oh, this is a dubbed French fucking movie. Like they totally bamboozled the American audience with this shit.
But there's not a lot of dialogue.
And yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's all right.
The
I
dubbing is so bad.
love the idea for the saw they used in this movie.
Yeah,
because in
that's
Evil
what
Dead,
sold it.
Yeah, Evil Dead. Was it Evil Dead? Fistful of Boomstick or Hail to the King? One of those games, you actually get the Mask and Steel chainsaw. And it's like that giant circular chainsaw. It's just a truth bringer, dude. It's such an amazing thing.
This movie has two things that I love. Number one, it has an ending which is to die for. It's so fucking great. Number two, though, it has one of the best decapitation scenes ever. Where
does not make sense.
The father's head. Well, it's stream logic too. That's the other thing I was going to bring up. This movie is very much stream logic. But where the father has his head through the railing of the stair, and the killer pushes I can't think what the
armoire.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Through it and decapitates him to brute strength. Totally worth your time to watch. But the killings happen pretty much up front, and then it becomes a horror chase movie after that. But definitely worth your time. I'm going to disagree, Jake. I think this one's great, but I think you were bamboozled is why. You were bamboozled, good sir.
Bamboozled.
It was a bamboozle.
All right.
Oh, by the way, It Follows only 2 deaths.
Yep. I saw there was a kill counter on it today. I was like, really? I was like, there's only 2 deaths on this.
That we saw.
Yeah.
Only 2 deaths. That's great.
Does anyone else
Pretty
have any recommendations?
Well, The Guest. I would say The Guest. That's another movie with, you know, the main character Jay, Dan Stevens, lights out character.
Somebody in this group loves Dan Stevens, and his name is Javi.
Oh my God, he's the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Javi, dude,
I'm
on the Dan Stevens train. I'll buy the T-shirt with you.
Oh, Dan Stevens is fucking awesome, man.
Oh, we got to start.
Yeah, dude, I love Dan Stevens.
He was great on Downton Abbey. He was great in Beauty and the Beast. He's just an amazing actor.
Doesn't it feel like he should be more famous?
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely. He's hot, charismatic. He's stud. Yeah, he's fucking
like,
great.
He can sing. Like he's like yeah. I'm gonna write him a letter and say be more famous.
You guys.
There's something. Wait, there's something else he was in. What's some of the other movies he was in? Because I'm trying to think
dreams.
of. Hang on.
Jason, My Dreams.
Oh my God.
I thought it was an actual movie for a second. I was like, what's the movie called My Dreams? Like,
what is that? It didn't come out. I can't find anything on it.
Well,
he's just cool. He's just super cool.
He's fucking badass.
Legion. That's it. Legion kills it. That's what he's most known for, I think.
Yeah. Dude, if you want to see a good Marvel show, fucking watch Legion.
Oh, Legion's great.
But I'm with you guys. Like, do you consider Fox Marvel? Like,
no.
Like, I almost feel like,
dude, guys, he was in Eurovision. Holy shit, he was the douchey singer guy in Eurovision.
Duh.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Jake,
Colossal.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, Dan Ninen is hilarious.
Any other recommendations from you guys?
Yeah, watch Logan or Deadpool. Those are Fox Marvel movies.
Logan's pretty good. Deadpool's pretty good too.
Did I ever tell you guys I watched Logan in black and white at
I've got it.
Alamo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking cool, man.
It's amazing.
So good.
Did you walk out with your nose stuck in the air?
Yeah. Well, it was great. It was great because I had no idea because I had missed Logan in the theater when it first came out, and then Lindsay found out they were doing a special screening one night only at Alamo in black and white.
Logan
and she,
Noir.
yeah, and she took me, and I had no idea what it was, and it was cool. At the end, they had a Q&A with the director and Logan via satellite in New York City, and it was so fucking cool. So yeah, I definitely had my nose up in the air.
At the actual Wolverine.
Yeah, the actual. Yeah, yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the cool thing about it was too, like Lindsay told me, okay, we're gonna go see this movie. You can only wear black or white. Like so, everyone at the theater had black and white on. That's cool. It was fucking awesome.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Were they color coordinated too?
Yeah. Yep.
I saw Mad Max Fury Road
in Chrome.
Yeah, the Chrome edition.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only one other movie I'd ever really wanted to see in black and white is actually The Crow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be fucking cool.
Well,
there's a remix that Trent Reznor, or I forget, not Trent Reznor, but somebody like fucking Brian Fincher or somebody did of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it's all black and white. But the score is done by Atticus and Trent Reznor.
Oh wow, that's cool as shit.
So it literally looks like a classic serial.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass.
That's cool.
I thought you said Indiana Jones. I was like, is that?
Well, yeah, I mean Indiana Junebug and the Joe Reynolds gang.
All right, David, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook. Children of Dave on Instagram, and come out Wednesday night at Addison Improv. We're gonna have a show.
Sweet. And then
Stars of Tomorrow Showcase.
That's right.
And you can find us on the internet at wearepodcast.podbean.com. You can find all the links in the description. Don't worry, it's all there. Other than that, find us every Monday here for Camp/Horrorcast. We talk horror movies from the past, live at 8 p.m. Central Time. With that said, guys, thank you so much for watching It Follows. Austin, we missed you. It was your pick. Hopefully you can join us next time. Keep horror in your hearts. And with that said, I'm going to cut the feed. And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. we have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, a dungeons and distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.